where did you start to end up being a program manager for Twitch?
Oh God, that is a very loaded question. So my background, believe it or not, is in no way, shape, or form related to tech. I have
Amazing.
I have a degree, a bachelor's of fine arts in trombone performance, classical trombone.
Oh my God.
And music
Amazing.
education. And then I spent some time after I graduated doing substitute teaching and all of that. But at the same point in time, because I was also, a gigging musician, I decided that I wanted healthcare. And so,
Right. A lot of musicians really like having healthcare. I've heard it's a great thing for humans to have.
Super important thing. And so I got a part-time gig working at Apple. I worked in Apple retail as a salesperson part-time, did that for 6 years. And even within my time at Apple, did sales. I led the visual merchandising team at my store. I became a mobile technician for about a year and then ended my time there as a Mac technician. So I did kind of like the gamut of stuff at Apple. And then from there, got to know Twitch as I was working there, got super into the community. And from getting to be part of the community, got to know some folks who worked here. And when a position opened up on Twitch's support team, I applied for that and was able to get my foot in the door and go from there. So it's been a weird journey that was not at all tech related into where I am now.
It's just a couple highlights, right? Like, I have a friend that I went to high school with, and he's the only other person I've met in my life that professionally played the trombone, like went to college for trombone fine arts. He for his, like, God, I'm just hoping that you know what this is because it's like a trombone thing.
Sure.
So he did a performance that was like this avant-garde thing where he had to dress up like a clown. And it was like a really weird piece of music.
I don't know this one, but I'm now super intrigued and we'll have to look.
Okay. Yeah. And he showed me, I remember, we haven't talked in a while, but like he showed it to me like a long time ago. And he was like, look at this. In the middle, it just has like 30 rests. And you're just supposed to scream "why," like right in the middle of all of these rest notes. And I was like, it's in the annotation. It's how you have to do it, I guess.
Yeah. There's some really weird pieces that people have put together. From my senior recital, I did a piece by Bernstein that's called Elegy for Mippy 2. And it's not because it's the second piece. It's because his dog was named Mippy 2.
Wonderful.
And it's an unaccompanied piece, but the entire time you're supposed to be stomping your foot in time. So you have to be doing it the entire time while you're playing, which is, it's not that hard, but at the same time, like, you have to be keeping the right tempo. You have to be doing all these weird things. And it's a very jazzy piece at the same time. It's awesome. I loved it, but it's definitely weird. But that's also not the weirdest piece that I've ever heard of.
So is it just trombone that has like this kind of
weird... Oh God, no.
Everybody's got
something. Yeah, so the weirdest piece that I know of not weirdest, but one of the silliest pieces I know of is a piece called 4 minutes and 33 seconds. And the entire thing is a person sits down at the piano and doesn't do anything. They just sit there. And the purpose of the piece of music is to be the audience and the sounds that they make being the performance. So people like shifting in their chairs, like rustling papers. Yeah, it's
I like that. That's really
heady shit.
I love that. That's so out there. It's like the musician's equivalent of now entertain me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right? Like that's kick ass. So you were at Apple as you started part-time, you picked up all these skills, and then you got hired on the support team at Twitch. What was that process like?
I think it's just like any other process. For me, at least, I came out actually when I was working at Apple. At the time they were flying people out to do training for when you became a Mac technician, or as they are commonly called, the geniuses at the store. The most pretentious title for a job that you'll ever hear, particularly in retail. And we all know it. But yeah, exactly. But at the time, they would actually fly you out for 3 weeks to either like Atlanta or Cupertino and put you up and put you through training for 3 weeks to actually learn how to be a technician and how to like do repairs, how to, you know, really learn their soft skills, things like that. And so when I was out here in 2015, I got to meet up with a couple of employees that were at Twitch. They gave me a tour of the office, and I was like, all right, I like this place. I like these folks. At some point in time, I'm going to work here. I want to make this happen, and I want to...
You're just like, this is happening.
Yeah, it's just like, and I have somewhere, it's like on Instagram or something, I took a picture, and I was like, nope, next time I'm back in San Francisco is going to be because I have a job here. And I was able to... actually, I guess it was spring of the next year, a position like was starting to open up. I applied a couple of times and didn't get any call. I didn't get any response back. And then finally I was able to get a buddy to put in a referral for me and got my foot in the door. And from there I was able to get a job out here. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, it was
what
nuts.
A fun story. So like, what was that like getting on board with Twitch, like at that point in its history, right? Like it's still, I remember because we've known each other for a while.
Yes,
and I remember
sir.
Like when you showed up in my chat with a wrench for the first time, which if you're listening, and you don't know Twitch, a wrench icon in the chat means that you're staff. It means you work for Twitch. It's the only people who have it. And I remember being like, holy fuck, you know, like so excited. So excited to see that for you. So like what was it like working when Twitch was like still scrappy and like trying to figure everything out and doing customer service, which I imagine was interesting.
Yeah.
Like
it's still interesting. It's getting to help a community that I am super passionate about was one of the coolest things ever. I loved working at Apple because I was passionate about being able to do cool things with their products. I enjoyed that. I built a lot of skills out of working at Apple and interfacing with the customers and being able to really know how to talk and to a certain degree how to perform for those folks. I was really able to learn and lean into that performance background. And coming to Twitch, it was a whole lot of the same. It was like, all right, it's the same skills that I know how to do. It's just now applying them in this new space. And I think that's been the thing that I've been really fortunate to be able to do over the past decade plus now of professional work is finding that through line of what skill do I have right here that I can continue to apply and evolve and utilize to my advantage. And I think the biggest one from Apple was leaning into the skill of authentic empathy with the people that I'm helping. And that's something that is super hard to do, but if you can get it right and be authentic about it, it really lands well.
Talk to me about what that is. So like that is something that most people would consider like at the tech terms a soft skill.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, as somebody whose primary mode of operation as a creative and entertainer, I wouldn't consider it that. It's something that you, like any form of communication, you can learn it and you can lean into it, and it can become a tool that can do things that like raw numbers and things like that, it's just impossible to accomplish for them. So what in a tech-based world where everything is like performance and numbers and binary, bringing in authentic empathy, like what does that look like on a day-to-day basis, or what did that look like back at Apple? Or I'm so fascinated by that because it is such a unique thing to pull out.
And when you're looking at, particularly with Apple, the way that they would go about it is they wanted the person that you were helping in whatever way, shape, or form to feel like you gave a shit about them, you gave a shit about what they needed, and were able to do something to make it happen. That could be you are trying to come in and buy an iPod for little Susie, or it could be you've locked yourself out of your phone and your child's photos from when they were just born are on that device.
Oh my God.
Like anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
You're going to have that entire gamut. And it's this idea of, all right, well, what is it that you as a person can connect with that other individual across the table from you? And how can you actually make them believe that you care? Because at the end of the day, that's what anyone really wants, to just be heard. People may not like listening to their own voice, but they like knowing that they're being listened to. And so if you can show somebody that you are engaged in that active listening and are able to actually engage in that conversation with them, they're going to care more about engaging with you. They're going to want to come back, and they're going to want to actually continue to do business with you, or, you know, continue to engage with you as an individual. And so taking that skill from Apple, you can apply that in pretty much anywhere else. Like, if you're able to go into a conversation and you're trying to influence somebody else on another team that you don't have authority over, like, that's going to be a very common thing whenever you're working in a corporation. You're going and you're asking them to do something that they don't have to do, but you're going to them and saying, hey, I think that this is something that we should look at, and this is a path that we should go down. Being able to get them to come to the table is a super, super important skill. And I'm personally not a huge fan of the idea of soft skills and hard skills. They're just skills.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that, I think that's really what it comes down to, is how do you build the skills to do what you need to do?
That is like one of the best like thesis statements about why empathy is super important in corporate work. Because